Good day there guys, it's your Aussie hubby Marky here, and welcome back to another episode of r/relationship advice. If you love this kind of content, I want you to smack that like button, subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to put on those bell notifications. You wouldn't want to miss an episode, would ya? With all that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn to the barbie, and let's get right into it. Posted by user ThrowRA_UnsureGF83, titled, "My fiancé wants to end our relationship because she thinks I tricked her into us living with my female friend, 28 female. We've been together for 6 months, and I know that even though it seems fast, I know she's the one. She loves me just as much, but lately we've been having a problem. We were living in my car for the last 4 months because she was taking care of her grandfather with dementia, and she just couldn't do it anymore. He was becoming increasingly combative and has been placed in a memory care facility. I offered to let her stay with me. My lease ended 4 months ago. We've been living in my car while finding a new place. I'm from a city in the southern area of the state, and we were making regular trips down to visit my friends. I had a job, but I was unhappy and about to quit because I knew that I could easily get back into my old job. A couple of weeks ago, she suggested that we move to my city because she had nothing holding her there, and she said she noticed I was unhappy in her city and seemed happier in mine. She is on disability, and I work. So we got to my city, and I told her that there is a female friend of mine who will let us stay with her for a few days. My fiancé and her don't know each other, except for a couple of brief meetings. It's been 2 weeks that we've been staying with my friend now, and my fiancé and I got into a very heated argument this morning because she blew up at me and said that she didn't sign up for this. She said that she feels like she's watching me have a life with another woman and wants to end the relationship and go back to her city. I've asked her to just hold on. I'm trying to get a few paychecks because I just started at my new job as soon as we got here. She said no, that she's tired of watching me build a life with another woman. To be fair, I guess I can see why she feels like this. My friend is a single mum and she has asked for help a lot. So far, I've moved a chair for her, taken out the trash, cut her grass, opened jars, and have watched her son. My fiancé and I were both raised in traditional value families, and she feels like my friend is asking too much of me. I feel like I'm just helping her out in exchange for a place to stay for a while. I've been paying her though. I think my fiancé is being ridiculous, but she said she's suspicious of my friend's intentions because of her asking me for help all the time. She said she's heard that if another woman is constantly needing a man's help, she's doing it with the intent to steal him. I've tried telling her that I'm not going anywhere, but she's mad because she said she feels like I'm putting myself in a situation where my feelings for my friend could be romantic. She said she feels like I don't care about her POV. She's made it clear that she doesn't exactly like my friend because she knows what she's up to and doesn't appreciate me just brushing it off. I did this so that we'd have a roof over our heads, and honestly, because I feel like, because I work, I deserve to have a place to rest. My fiancé said that it's been a couple of weeks, and that it seems like I'm becoming complacent and don't want to leave, or will decide that I don't. She said that if I decide to become roommates with my friend, she is definitely leaving. She acknowledged that it's her issue to deal with, but that she's been feeling jealous because she's been watching me do things for another woman and eating another woman's cooking. She hasn't had the chance to do any of that for me because of our situation, and she said that she's afraid that I will choose my friend over her because of this. She said she feels like my friend is too close, and she doesn't like it, and that she knows because she's a woman what other women get up to, and I'm just ignoring her concerns. I just don't know what to do anymore because I want her here with me, but she seems very unhappy. I don't want her going back to her city because there is no one there for her. She has a lot of friends who have effed her over, and I just want her here with me, and I want us to have a life, but she seems very unhappy. I'm not really sure what to do to resolve this. Edit to add, my fiancé said that she feels like I tricked her into this because I did not discuss this with her. She said that she knew we would be staying with her for a few days, but not this long. She said that she now thinks that I discussed this with my female friend before moving down here and did not tell her how long we would be staying and therefore took away her choices. She said that if she had ever known it was going to be this long, she would never have agreed to come with me. I didn't plan this behind her back, it sort of happened, but that's what she thinks, and I can't change her mind. Edit to add, I should have clarified that my friend has made no attempt to get to know my girlfriend at all. We usually go into her room to talk about our day, and my girlfriend is never invited. I haven't said anything to her because I don't want us getting kicked out. Also, I'm aware that they don't know each other, and I just don't want to ruffle any feathers right now, so to speak. Also, I should have clarified that I have met a few of her friends, and they don't seem to be good people. Some of them can't help her because they're in HUD housing. She's saying that she has a few friends that are willing to help her, and her sister and brother-in-law who live in another city are willing to help her also. I don't want her to leave, because I'm worried that I won't be able to help her if she needs me. I can admit that I have been neglecting her. I usually go right into my friend's room when I get back from work. Then I spend about an hour doing work stuff on the computer, and then go to sleep. My girlfriend said she understands that I'm working a lot, but that it's no excuse to neglect our relationship. She has said that maybe she's not ready for a relationship, but I'm reluctant to let her go. She has also said that she's thought maybe I'm not at a point where I should be having a relationship right now. She said that she doesn't feel like I have time for one. She said that it would be better for us to just split now, since it's only been 6 months, rather than months or years down the road. She has tried explaining to me that sometimes things just don't work out, but as I said, I'm reluctant to let her go. You know what? I'm not on OP's side for this one, surprisingly. After everything is said and done, especially in these edits, I feel like there's a lot that's being left out here. Oh, look at this, a little trickle truth. Oh, and another trickle truth came out. What else are you hiding from us, OP? Oh yeah, I just casually neglect her and abuse her in this relationship, but, I feel like she's the one that's crazy here. I don't understand why she wants to leave. I never actually spend any time with her, or show her appreciation, or value her. I don't understand why she's acting so crazy. That's what you sound like, OP. What's wrong with you? In the comments, you should let her go if she wants to go. She is unhappy. She is sitting in an apartment with your friend who ignores her. You work the whole day, and a little free time goes to your friend. You say yourself that you want to stay there for several paychecks, so a few months. You rushed this relationship as if you're a teenager. You didn't even know this woman and lived with her. Was this a savior thing? But you just hurt her right now. Even if it is her issue, the situation makes her crazy, and you can't change the situation. You don't want to let her go for a selfish reason, but actually, you also don't want to spend time with her. Let her go. You can still stay in contact, and if you have a steady life again, you can ask her to try again. But this life right now? And that you also don't see how it feels that your friend totally ignores her, never asks her for favors, just you. Even such small details, and as soon as you come home, you go to your friend. And you say that you pay for everything there, so why pay with favors for your stay and lose the little time that you have with your girlfriend? You also wrote your daily plan, and there was no time for your girlfriend? And OP replies, I'm planning on getting a place for the both of us, but as I said, I want to save up a few paychecks. I was planning on staying in the car with her after these couple of weeks, but I'm honestly thinking about asking my friend to stay a little longer. I understand how it may seem messed up that my friend ignores her, but I want us to have a place to stay right now. I just don't want to not be able to help her if something goes wrong because she is disabled. She has suggested maybe living apart for a while and then seeing if things are more stable in a few months, but I need her here. Without her, this whole thing collapses because I will not be able to afford an apartment without her. She said that maybe I should just stay with my friend and be roommates with her, but according to my friend, that can't happen. My girlfriend said that she doesn't even understand what I brought her here for, and that she feels like she sticks out like a sore thumb. She's even said that she wonders if her being gone would change my friend being okay with me being roommates with her. I just worry about what would happen to her if I let her go. Mishy162 replies, You are just digging a deeper hole for yourself with your edits. In what world is it okay for you to go into your friend's bedroom to talk about your day and to ignore your fiancé? If you're talking, you should be in the living area. I totally understand where your fiancé is coming from. And OP replies, My friend just always hangs out in her room. I didn't think anything of it because we leave the door open. The update to this story is a post from the Fiancée. Hi, I'm providing this update because I'm almost sure this is about me and my ex. The details are too fitting. Anyway, yes. I suggested we move down to his city. I said we could start looking for a place immediately. It's true that I agreed that we would live in the car and get a gym membership. He waited until we got down there to tell me that we would be staying with a female friend of his for a few days. I was fine with that. A few days turned into 3 weeks. He completely neglected me, and our relationship suffered. I get that he's adjusting to a new job, but that's no excuse. Every time his friend needed something, he would jump right up. He was so busy kissing her ass that he didn't have time for me. He expected me to clean her house. I refused to be a maid, especially when I wasn't even given a choice in being there. I presented the idea of us living apart for a while until he got more established, but he just wouldn't hear it. He would follow me outside and prevent me from calling anyone, and even snatched my phone out of my hands every time I tried. He wouldn't even sleep unless I was with him because he was afraid of me sneaking off, as he put it. He kept saying he needed me there because he loves me and needed me to get a place. It was obvious after a while that he just wanted me there because he wouldn't be able to get a place without me. I'm sure he's probably just going to stay with her, but I don't care anymore. It's not my concern. It became clear to me that he didn't care what I wanted. He wanted to do whatever he wanted and just expected me to deal with it. He would accuse me of being rude to him and his friend. This despite the fact that she completely ignored me. Even when I was standing right next to him, she would act like I wasn't there and only talk to him. He made no attempt to fix it. It also became clear to me that she expected him to act like dad to her son and act like a partner to her. He couldn't understand why I seemed jealous, even though the minute we arrived, he stopped touching me and started ignoring me. He started doing her favors and spending all his free time with her. Then when I brought it up, he said that I was making baseless accusations. He tried to excuse them closing her bedroom door by saying her son closed it. Be that as it may, he should have immediately opened it. This happened twice, yet he couldn't understand why I didn't trust him. I waited until he calmed down by pretending everything was cool, then when everyone went to sleep, I took his fob, got my stuff out of the car, and I ordered an Uber. I went to a hotel and then got a bus ticket the next day. I'm staying with a friend in my hometown until I can find a new place. Of course, he blew up my phone, so I just blocked him, but not before telling him that it was over. He seems like a player anyway. Most of his friends are women, and he was also friends with his ex, who he talked about constantly. He never shut up about his female friends, a few that he told me that he considered dating in the past. I just wasn't happy, and he refused to let me break up with him. He was showing a lot of red flags, and I was done. I've learned my lesson about moving in with someone that I hardly know. I'm just glad to be away from him and his drama that he always accused me of creating. Thank you for reading. In the comments, Dim Tim from Q says, "It's always nice to hear the opposite side to the stories that are posted here." And OP replies, "I know that I already replied to you, but I wanted to add that I'm glad that I saw it because I see how he spun it in his favor to make me look entitled. I honestly think he only brought me there to be a live-in housekeeper and babysitter. He deceived me. He told me that we were going to have a house ready, and then the minute we got into the town, he was like, 'We're going to be staying with my friend for a few days.' And it became 3 weeks. He stopped being as affectionate, and we stopped having sex. It happened once in 3 weeks, when normally it was a few days a week, and even twice a day sometimes. Also, twice they were in her room with the door shut. I see he lied about that. He claims that her son shut it, but even if he did, he should have immediately opened the door. He blamed me, saying that I should have opened it if I had a problem with it. I don't know her, so I wasn't going to do that. He took advantage of that and then spun it in his favor. He knew exactly what he was doing. It doesn't matter because I'm done." Dim Tim from Q says, "So glad you are. The whole situation is just bizarre." And OP replies, "Yeah, it is. Like someone else said, he's playing house with her. He was basically cheating on me right in front of my face and expecting me to be okay with it. If I called him out on his bullcrap, he accused me of starting crap. He said that all the problems in our relationship were due to me starting things. Well, he can do what he wants. I am done with him. He was attempting to manipulate and control me and was mad that I wasn't just letting him get away with it. He was cheating whether he wants to admit it or not. On no planet is it okay to ever go into a room with someone of your preferred gender and shut the door without your partner present. Yet I'm the crazy one for thinking something was wrong with that. So like I said, he can do whatever he wants." And honestly, what a bullet dodged in this situation, OP. Glad to see that you're out of that and glad that you are doing better. I honestly don't know what to say, but I imagine this situation is more common than I would like to think it is. And all I can say to that is, gross. Yuck. I'm sorry if you've had to deal with this before. Anyway, if you have, I'd love to know your stories down below. What did you guys think of this one? Let me know in the comments down below. Our next post is by user Content, titled Male 32, Cheating Fiancé, Female 31. Let me start from the beginning here. Yesterday I met my fiancé at our wedding venue for our 4-month out meeting to finalize details. We drove to the venue separately because she was leaving straight from work. Towards the end of the meeting, she let me know her friend was dropping off her rental car and she needed a ride home and asked if it would be okay. I said yes, thinking nothing of it, as it wasn't that far from our home and I know her friend well. I get home and I try to get in touch with her for the next 3 hours. No answer. At approximately the 1:30 mark, I texted her friend and asked her if she'd made it to her okay. I was very worried. My fiancé ends up coming home and says sorry that it took longer than expected. She hung out with her friend for a bit before leaving. Okay, no biggie, just let me know next time please. Her friend gets back to me a few minutes later and says, sorry I couldn't make it to the venue, didn't see your fiancé tonight. I asked her why she would say this, and she said she didn't know. She can't control what her friend says and walked outside. I'm sketched out AF by this point. I have never done this, but I looked at her phone records. Yes, I did, and I don't regret it. I saw that when she went outside, she called her friend that had texted me right after she went outside. I also saw an hour-long phone call with a number that I didn't know on the way to the venue. I asked her what rental place they went to, and multiple other questions. She had quick answers, and they seemed legit. I thought maybe I'm crazy here, and I need to chill and sleep on it. This morning, I asked her to please see the text from her friend asking her to pick her up, and I would apologize for questioning her the previous night, but she said no. I said when I caught up to you yesterday on the way to the venue, I saw that you were on your phone. Who was that? She said, oh, that's the friend that I picked up later on. That's when I knew for a fact that she was lying. I said I looked at her phone records and knew that wasn't true. She then changed her story to say, oh, I needed to meet up with a coworker to discuss a patient. Who's the coworker, and why couldn't you discuss that over the phone? Oh, that's because I need to show him the techniques in person. His name is Michael. Okay. I am sketched out beyond belief at this point. We never lie to each other. I asked to see the texts with Michael, and she said she wouldn't let me see. I said, why not, if there's nothing to hide? Are you having an affair? Do you not want to be together anymore? She pauses and proceeds to tell me all the things that are wrong with me. I work too much. I don't spend enough time with her. I don't listen. I'm astonished at this point. All of this is news to me. I put 2 and 2 together at this point. I know something sketchy is going on. I again ask to see the texts. It took about half an hour of convincing to see these texts, and they were crazy. Sexual in nature and talking a lot of shit about me. Also how she wanted to be with him and how they're essentially in love. She started this job 1.5 months ago. He is her co-worker. He is also 15 to 20 years older and divorced with multiple kids. I have been financially supporting her for the last few months as she got back on her feet and was working extra so she wouldn't have to pick up a part-time job. We own a house which we both live in with 3 dogs and a horse. Sorry for the novel. I am beside myself right now. I did not see this coming, and we were going to get married in 4 months. Any advice would help. As an update, I was finally able to sit down with her tonight and go over this. Again, she came in trying to blame me for what she did, trying to justify the cheating and lying as a direct result of my lack of communication and listening. She said she wouldn't have had to start talking to this guy if I had been listening better. I spent too much time in the office working, and I don't dedicate enough time to her. I tried to explain that I was putting in extra hours to try and support her and the family financially while she was struggling so she wouldn't have to get a part-time job. She said she would have rather gotten a part-time job, which makes no sense to me. She was under the impression that because this was short-lived, 1 week she says, and they only made out once, that we could move past this. When I brought up the texts where she was trashing me and talking sexual with him, she deflected hard, and I got nowhere with that. I told her that I'm not the reason that this is happening. She went too far and should have communicated with me or thought about the implications first, that I can never trust her again and this is all because of her actions. Whether she wants to try and justify this as my fault is up to her. At the end of this part, it got a bit calmer. I said, listen, we just really need to figure out the house we own jointly and the 3 dogs. We came to the conclusion that either I stay and buy her out, or we sell and get new places. The dogs. One of us will get 1, the other 2 to be determined. So that's where this left off tonight, and we'll continue to keep you all posted on progress. Curious what you all would do about the house. Financially, I can support it alone, but it's nearly 3,000 square feet and 5 acres of land which was bought solely to have her horse. She is taking the horse when she leaves and boarding it at a barn. Now for some notable comments. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Small consolation, I know, but better now than after the wedding. Better now than after potentially starting a family. Standard cheater, victim blaming. Don't let her pin this on you, OP. You deserve better. Cancel all vendors, notify invited guests, lock down your credit, or shared finances. Are you sure the affair partner is divorced? He may be lying to your soon-to-be ex, or she may be lying to you. Either way, it sounds like she cheated down and screwed up royally. It sucks, but it's better to know now than 10 years down the road. I'm sorry you got blindsided by this, and I hope it gets better soon. And OP replies, I really appreciate you taking the time to reply and for the advice. I have no idea if he is truly divorced, and honestly, I don't want to know more about the guy. The saddest thing about this is my dogs love each other and will most likely be broken apart. Agree, better to know now. Her attitude about being caught tells you everything you need to know. Blaming you for her shitty behavior shows that she has no character and would make an awful partner. First of all, implement the 180 and grey rock method. The financial support for her should stop immediately. You will need a lawyer to deal with the house and ask them how you can legally leverage the HR angle in your negotiations. She has shown her true colors and is acting horrible. That relationship will crash and burn, and she will then start begging to come back. Sending strength. Honestly, I don't know if there's too much that I can say that hasn't been said already. Just get out of there, OP. Absolutely better now than 10 years down the line when you're stuck with that property and kids and a bunch of other commitments. It's sadly a blessing that she showed herself to be untrustworthy and disgusting in this way. I do wonder what you guys think of this fiancé. And now on to the update. Day 3, I was able to sit and have a 3-hour conversation with her tonight. We talked about our relationship and what led to what occurred. It started with her telling me what I did wrong in our relationship. Lack of communication, spending too much time working and on my phone. I don't disagree with any of these things. My mindset behind working so much was support of the family. I run an e-commerce business on the side and am a one-man customer service center, and deals happen 24 hours a day. I am never not on the clock. I could have certainly been better about setting my phone aside and responding to the people the next day. The lack of communication was on both ends, and a prime example of this is the fact that I was unaware she was unhappy with any of this. It was never communicated to me. She said she felt that I would have gotten upset if she told me, but never gave me the chance to work on it. I am not a perfect person by any means, and many times I do or say things that are misinterpreted by her as rude. An example of this is a week or 2 ago, I was trying to help her with a budget with her financial problems to try to set up a plan to get her on track. To note, I work in the financial industry and do this for clients all the time. She had mentioned that she owed me maybe $1,000 and she would get that back to me next paycheck. I said something like, I think it's a little bit more than that. Let's go through the transfers I've made to our joint account. It ended up being over $5,000. My purpose for doing this was not to make her feel bad, but to realize how much I have been contributing. She took this as me trying to humiliate her. I was just trying to help her, and maybe my timing was off. She told me that I've been too focused on money lately, but I was only trying to make sure that we were going to be okay. We still had quite a bit to pay for the wedding, and my budgeting mentality was on overload, trying to make sure that we had enough. The fact that she keeps trying to justify what she did by attributing that as a direct correlation to my flaws really bothers me. She keeps telling me that she is surprised I would throw away 7 years of a relationship like this. I keep having to remind her that I didn't throw it away. She did with her actions. She told me that I told too many people too quickly, and we could have resolved all of this just between us. She also said that she wouldn't have had to talk to someone if I was a better listener and communicator. I have finally determined the extent of the affair, which I actually believe based on the texts that I read. They began talking 1 to 2 weeks before via text. I don't know if they had met up before outside work, but this time around he had asked her to the park to play basketball and talk. She met up with him and they ended up making out. I truly believe that it didn't go further than this yet, but it would have in the near future, I'm sure. She says he is not her boyfriend. She also took off tonight, and I have no idea where she's at. Assuming with him or a girlfriend. It is an awkward living situation, but I'm hoping this resolves in the near term. I do think she wants me to get back with her and try to repair that. I think that the main issue was a lack of communication that manifested for a long time. We got into a routine, lived our boring, simple life, and meanwhile, this problem was never discussed and it just grew over time. She acted out instead of talking to me and also lied to my face and talked a lot of crap about me behind my back. She can be very sneaky, and I don't think I can fully trust her again. Obviously, this would be the easiest thing to do, but I don't think that I would ever be truly happy. Understanding the root cause has helped me feel better. If nothing else, it'll allow me to address my personality flaws and communication issues and see things from another perspective. I started hitting the gym today and will keep a routine going. I also plan on picking back up on studying for my CFP designation. I took the week off work to focus on my mental health. Today, I called the wedding venue and officially cancelled the date. We were able to get some money back but lost a bit unless the date can be resold to another couple, which is unlikely. I also spoke with her parents again to keep them apprised. They live far away and I'm sure they are worried sick. I continue to let them know that everything is fine and calm and they don't need to worry about their daughter. I did some research, and with interest rates where they are today, I will not be able to find a comparable house for the mortgage I pay for this. I can barely find an apartment for less nowadays. I think my best option is to try and buy out her share and have her find an apartment. She seems agreeable at this time. We will have an appraiser out to assess value and see what half the equity would be and if that is doable for me. My questions to all of you are, does this change your mind at all about the situation? Am I handling this properly? And if not, what should I be doing different? For some notable comments, at this point, I would stop giving her the platform to tell you that her cheating is because of you. It's not. She chose to cheat. Instead of being an adult and having adult conversations in an adult relationship, she chose to cheat. The moment any of that shit escapes her lips, shut it down. She doesn't deserve to have your ear. She's hoping that if she says it enough, you'll start to believe it. Shut it down. Conversations are hallmarks of a relationship. You chose to cheat. It's over. Rinse, recycle. Repeat as necessary. Personally, I'd be done with any conversing. I hope the house thing works out. You have so many things that you need to get over before this relationship can be recovered. So in no particular order, you have the following to consider. She is trickle-truthing you, and the chances that she is still not being honest with you are high. The simplest way to put it is the time-honored axiom that kids kiss, adults screw. Unless she can be completely honest with you, even knowing that it may hurt you to know the truth, any trust you have in her will be non-existent. She has leapt straight into Davo, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. This is sadly a classic cheater's move, and you can see this quite clearly in trying to pin the blame for her actions on you. Sorry, but you didn't magically hand her a card saying, "Please cheat on me, I'm a bad fiancé." She did this of her own accord, for her own reasons, and because even though she knew it was wrong, she did it anyway. None of this is on you. Even when the chips are down and your engagement is in the balance, she chose him over you and continues to choose him over you. At a time when you would expect that she would pull out all stops to be with you, she has decided for whatever reason to continue seeing him. Anyone in her position who feared the loss of their partner would be bending over backwards to show you that she is not who you think she is. Sadly, she has done the exact opposite and is doing all in her power to drive you further apart. She doesn't want you to throw away 7 years of a relationship like this, but isn't that exactly what she is doing by her actions? What did she expect would happen if she hooks up with a guy that she has just met at the expense of the person she's supposed to marry? Sorry, but no. She has thrown away 7 years, not you, her. Her lack of honesty to your face is now being backed up by a complete lack of respect for you. How someone can go from yes, I will marry you to nah, you never made me happy and this new guy I just met can, is not the way to build a life of joy and happiness on. Hell, if it was a house, any right-minded civil engineer would condemn the building before the foundations had a chance to dry. The foundations of this relationship are now in the realm of the sandpit in a swamp. The sum result of her blaming you has you now questioning your role in her affair. This is by design and is something that all cheaters do when faced with the consequences of their actions. She wants you to blame yourself so that you can play her game of pick me. Now that you no longer wish to play, she'll easily move on to the next guy and will not give you a second thought. For now. As you say, you have taken action and have cancelled the wedding and stopped your engagement. You are handling this properly, and you need to make it clear to her that once the sole thing keeping you two together is dealt with, the sale and transfer of the house, that she will be out of your life forever. So, are you throwing away 7 years? No. You had it thrown away for you, and you were just sweeping up the mess left behind by her actions. For now, keep all communication between you restricted purely to the asset split. Tell her absolutely nothing about your plans, what you were doing in life, etc. She lost that right when she did what she did, and if she tries to fill you in on what she has been doing, just pull her up with the simple phrase, I no longer care what you do. It is no longer any of my business. Understanding the root cause has helped me feel better. But please also understand that there are no root causes for why she did what she did. That is all on her own personal flaws in her character and morals, and you had absolutely nothing to do with it. As you said yourself, she is very sneaky, and this is just who she is. So get your agreement done ASAP, and even if you take a small loss and end up with a few months of eating ramen to pay her out, you will end up ahead. And then once it's all done, start working towards being as indifferent to her as you possibly can be. And again, I don't have much to add here, but reading this has really got me worked up, that's for sure. I'm ready to get my pitchfork and torch out and start riding in the streets for OP. You've been done so dirty by this woman, OP. You deserve so much better. I have found another candidate for my basket of assholes, and this woman is going right inside. How dare she do this to you, OP? Really, that's all I have to say for this one, guys. So this is the end of the video. I do hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about it down below as well. And I hope you have a good day, night, sleep, whatever you're up to. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.